Mr. Chairman. Thank all of you for being here again. I have a question for Mr. Harvey. Your family's company operates and provides recycling services in rural areas in New England. Can you explain why certain regions within New England have the infrastructure, geography, or special characteristics that enable curbside recycling, and why other areas in that region may not have that?
It comes down to the density of the municipality that we operate in. Our industry is all about density and it's all about volume. And we need to be able to send our trucks out in a dense area, and we need to collect the recyclables or the trash in one truck and bring it back to a central location. And we want volume. And so when you have a highly populated area, it's much easier to do curbside recycling. When you get into rural areas, even in the state of Massachusetts or in New England, when you go up into northern New England, it's so much harder to send that truck out and collect the material. We're sending 2 trucks out a lot of times. The industry has started to do is to start to use what we call split bodies. So we're only sending 1 truck out at a time to do it. But even in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts where we operate, we have feeder transfer stations that feed into our MRF in central Massachusetts. And we need those. We need those feeder systems to come in and make it profitable for us to run our MRFs. So we run into the same aspect, not quite as rural West Virginia or some of the Oklahoma or some of the other states, but that's the biggest reason. It's density.
Right. Well, so investments you mentioned, and I think you've already answered this, in transfer stations and other mechanisms for increasing collection and transportation would be long-term solutions for our rural. You think those would be long-term solutions for our rural communities then?
Definitely would be. Yes. Yes.
Okay, so our previous witness, Ms. Murray, was talking about a circular economy. So if you were looking at a transfer station system such as you have, and would you consider that a circular economy way of dealing with recycling?
I think the circular economy goes from the collection to the processing to the marketing and then turning it back into another product.
So no matter
the collection and the processing are only one half of that or one part of that. We still need the outlets for the materials. We still need to establish good, solid markets, which we worked hard through for years to establish those. We need to be able to collect the materials, but at the end of the day, we need to be able to ship them out to consumers wherever they may be, domestically or export, wherever that market is.
Are those markets,
closing the whole loop.
Yeah. Are those markets increasing for you now, or are they static, or what is the state of the aftermarket after the process?
That's a very good question. We've certainly had some issues when China stopped accepting a lot of our recyclable materials. We've been very fortunate since that time that our domestic mills have picked up the need for more materials. You heard the gentleman from IP say about all the tons that they handle. So yeah, the markets right now are actually, they're pretty robust. They've fallen off a little bit from where they were at the end of calendar 2021, but they're still fairly robust. Another reason why we need to get into these areas that are underserviced and collect those recyclables, because there's a need and there's a desire to use those materials currently.
Right, and there's
Senator Capito, can I interrupt just for a moment?
Sure.
We all serve on different committees. Some of them are in session right now. I'm being summoned to come to the Homeland Security Committee for a business meeting. They need my vote, so I'm going to slip away for a while.
Okay, so you just need to recycle back over here.
That's right.
I got that one in before you could. Thank you. Just a quick question for Mr. Harrison on the data collection. The most recent Recycling Economic Information Report from EPA was released in November 2020, but it was relying on 8-year-old data from 2012. I mean, I know in my own community, the ebbs and flows of recycling have been very apparent, a lot of it depending on the age of the facility that can recycle, the will of the municipal government, the available funds, the participation of the residents, all kinds of things. If this legislation were to become law and improve EPA's recycling data, what insights do you think would be able to gain from analyzing this data?
Yes, thanks, Senator. When we think about the data, again, when we think forest products industry.
You might want to move just a little closer to your mic. It's probably.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me now? All right. So when you think about the forest products industry and you think about what we do, we have a very strong and historical track record of investing in this infrastructure. We do a great job of collecting that product and bringing it back. The opportunity for us is how to make sure we're accessing all the fiber available. So when I think about this study and what it would do is even the data that we do as AF and PA, it's a sampling. The data that EPA will be able to do will give us a more detailed view of the country and the breakdown and truly be able to identify where those opportunities are to be able to collect that fiber, collect those recyclable materials, and get them back to some end use to make a new product. So I see the data as being very valuable in helping both public and private sectors understand where the opportunities are to drive the circular economy.
Thank you.